Hey everyone, and welcome to the Horror Room. So, a little bit of a midweek update. We're in the middle of doing the variants. We just did Night of the Living Dead. I'm not going to put this video in black and white, too much production. But we will be continuing next week with more variants. But for right now, I thought I would take a break and let's talk about some more Night of the Living Dead. Specifically, the Night of the Living Dead remake, the Tom Savini one, on 4K. This came out a little while back, but it is the uncensored, uncut version of the movie. Now, I literally just got done watching this, and I can tell you, there's not too many scenes in there that jumped out. There was like a head explosion. Maybe they lingered on some of the scenes of like the bodies burning at the end. Maybe some of the shots of the zombies getting stabbed or bludgeoned. But other than that, I would say this is a pretty bare bones release. The Blu-ray disc has some stuff on there, so I'm excited to check out some of those. But I just mainly wanted to check out the 4K, the uncensored version. Now it does come with a free digital code for the theatrical version, not the uncut. I don't know why they did that. That's kind of weird, but stick around to the end. I'll be giving that code away. When you get the code, make sure you comment below so not everyone's trying the code out. Kind of a jerk move. Um, but, I don't need the digital code. But let's talk about this movie just a little bit. I'm sure most of you have seen it, but if you haven't, it is a remake of the George Romero classic, Night of the Living Dead. Now, we'll discuss the ending a little later on and how it differs from the Tom Savini remake's ending. But let's talk about some of the characters. First, you have Barbara and her brother. Um, I'm trying to remember her brother's name. Johnny. Johnny. Okay. Yeah, they're on the way to the cemetery to visit their mother's grave. And, Johnny the whole way is teasing her, like, you're afraid of this place. Now, in the original classic, stop it, Johnny. I mean it. They're coming to get you, Barbara. They do that in this one, but they kind of do it like right off the bat, so it's kind of like doesn't build up as nicely. But it is Bill Moseley playing Johnny, and Bill Moseley is always a treat to see in these horror movies. Now I'm trying to remember who plays Barbara. Let me see if I can find out who. Patricia Tallman. Um, I will say they did a lot better justice to Barbara's character because in the original, all she does is scream and faint. In this one, I mean, she kind of does go a little loony, but she's at least a stronger character. She really picks up the gun and like gets the hang of it almost instantly. Um, and then, of course, after the famous cemetery scene where she runs away, then you get her going to the house and she meets Ben, who is played in the remake by Tony Todd, Candyman himself. Now, I don't know if this came out before or after Candyman, but it's sad to see Tony Todd in this now because of him passing away recently. The last movie I saw him in was, of course, Final Destination Bloodlines. And, it was kind of the same story as when you saw Sid Haig in Three from Hell. Like, you could tell he was pretty sick, but it was still like a nice send off for the character from the Final Destination movies. But in this Night of the Living Dead, Ben is that strong, take no shit survivor. Um, they really they enhanced every character in this, even the bad ones, like the asshole that's down in the cellar with his wife and his daughter. Um, even though I mean he's kind of the dick in the movie. But I think it's funny because like his big insult when he's down there is like, "I'm watching yo-yos." Yeah, it's just a good time. But let's get into the ending real quick. Spoilers if you have not seen it for some reason. Do yourself a favor, watch the original and then watch the remake. You don't have to watch them back to back, but they deserve to at least be seen once, especially the original. That's a classic. The Tom Savini remake is great in its own regards. Um, and as far as I know, this is the first and last movie that Tom Savini directed. I could be wrong. He might have directed one or two things. I know he starred. Where is it at? Oh, yeah. I know he starred in The Ripper, even though he doesn't like to talk about this movie. But as a director, I think he knocked this one out of the park. And it's such a great movie for him to direct. Um, oh gosh, because we all know that Tom Savini started work with Dawn of the Dead, and then he came back for Day of the Dead. So it's only fitting that he end it with the original and his own version of it. Um, so yeah, let's talk about the infamous ending. Now, at the end of the movie, in the original, Ben, I believe, he goes and hides down in the cellar. I think everyone else is killed off. I could be wrong. Barbara might have survived. I can't remember. But I think she did die. Maybe. But at the end of the movie, the next day, you have the redneck vigilantes run around. They're shooting all the zombies, dragging them to the fires. And they come across the house and they get in. And, well, actually, I think they are looking through the windows and they got like the rifle. And they see Ben walking around in there. And I think they know that he's not a zombie. And they shoot him anyways. Because a little bit of a. Back then, people were not so kind to people of Ben's skin, if you get me. Being a little R word, racy, racialist ish. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to censor it for YouTube. Who knows? They might freak out. But those things happen. But in the remake, they did change it. Ben and Cooper, I think that's his name, the bad guy. Well, bad guy, the asshole, the yo-yos. They kind of get into a gunfight near the end, and they both get shot. Cooper ends up going up to the attic, and Ben ends up going down to the cellar. And, that's when Ben finds the gas pump keys that they were trying to get earlier in the film. Barbara ends up leaving the house. She goes on the road, and she runs into the rednecks. She ends up staying, like, passing out or whatever, hanging out with them. And she sees them doing all these crazy things. But they end up back at the house, and they find Ben, and Ben's turned into a zombie because he died of his gunshot wound. Now, what they added, which is really funny, it was not in the original. I'm very certain. Cooper shows up, and he's like, "Oh my God, you came back! Thank you, you came back!" And she just point blank shoots him, and she's like, "There's another one for the pile." For the fire pile that they're doing of all the dead bodies. So yeah, I think it's a fun, nice little twist. Definitely adds a little cynicism at the end. Not as heavy-handed with the politics and the message like George Romero was having back in the original film with the racial stuff. But it's still a good movie. But with that said, do I think that this is worth your time and money? Because I didn't even read what's on the Blu-ray portion. The 4K is literally just the movie, and it's got commentary. But the Blu-ray has the theatrical and uncensored version, so you don't even need the 4K. I guess they wanted the fancy steelbook. Which, hold on, let me show you guys the steelbook. You probably saw it in the thumbnail, but the zombie with the baby doll. Let me pull this out real quick. Then you got the different zombies over there. You got the discs, which pretty nice. For some reason, I mean, I know it's just raised, but it just feels like this disc was kind of loose in here. But anyways, so let's look at the bonus features. We have the theatrical and uncensored version of the film on the Blu-ray disc, commentary for the uncensored version with director Tom Savini, moderated by Michael Felsher. I don't know that name. Commentary, archival commentary. The Dead Walk making of featurette. That's pretty cool. I'm going to have to check that out. Savini's Night with director Tom Savini. Being Barbara. Oh Brother with actor Bill Moseley. That should be funny. Return to the Living Dead with special makeup effects supervisors. Time with Tom with actor William Butler. I'm not sure who that is. Maybe that's Cooper, maybe. Flesh and Blood with actors McKee Anderson and Heather Mazur. In Living Dead Color with producers John Russo and Russell Steiner. Cutting the Dead with editor The Dead Speak with zombie performers. And the theatrical trailer. So there's a good amount of behind the scenes interviews. I don't know if there's like a lot of behind the scenes like how they did any of the shots or the makeup. Probably not. But yeah. So is this worth your time and money? I would say if you do not own it, definitely. If you own the standard DVD from back in the 90s, I mean it just depends. Do you really think you need those? Because I don't even know how long this is compared to the original cuts. Trying to see if I got it near me so I can grab it. Oh, there it is. Does it have the runtime on here? It does not have the runtime on here. Wow. Well, maybe. Hold on. Let me see. 88 minutes. How long is this one? Oh my gosh. You'd think they would put it right there on the back. Hold on. 92? Wait. 88 minutes. 92. Okay, that's weird. So the theatrical one is longer? Okay. Maybe there's something with the credits that got cut in this. I don't know. That's very weird. Well, I mean, unless this thing is wrong or maybe this one's wrong, I don't know. So yeah, do with that information what you will. But yeah, 4K of Night of the Living Dead. Now all we need is a box set with Night, Dawn, and Day together. I think that would be cool. I know there's a couple releases of Dawn of the Dead. There's various Day of the Dead ones. I got that really amazing Night of the Living Dead one. But it'd be nice to have them all together in a collection. Or do like some dual packs with the original and the remake for this and Dawn. Not so much Day, though. Don't do that one. But anyways, thanks for sticking around and watching me ramble about a movie that you've probably already seen. So now it's time for the code. Just make sure that if you claim the code, please write it down below that you've got it, so now everyone's wasting their time. And remember, this is the theatrical version. There's no other side to this, so here's the code. Oh, and this is for download the free Movies Anywhere app. 3 easy steps. Get started at sonypictures.com/MA redeem or download the free Movies Anywhere app through the App Store. So there's how you get it. I'll hold it up at the end so you can look at it or screenshot it if it works. The code is 3, and these are all capital, by the way, 3JU5 AB0W XEAYRGS3. So, hope you enjoy. Here's the info. If it'll work for Movies Anywhere app. So if you need that. But yeah. That's all she wrote. So if you did get the code, too bad for you. Thanks for watching.